Hello, and welcome once again to Life That Matters. My name is Dr. Sharon Norris Elliott.
And I'm Lady Laura Simon.
And as you can see, I am wearing my Christmas sweater.
And I'm wearing
And-
just because
right.
I got my thing in veil and it's cold and
That's right.
there we go.
It's been cold.
So I'm red.
And so, at Christmas it's supposed to be cold, right?
Right.
It's supposed to be, but
supposed to
we
be.
live in Southern California, and so we don't want to make the rest of the country and the world mad. But yeah, it's been like, what, 80?
Yeah, today it's 72
In December.
in December.
Anyway.
But it's cold in here.
Don't be jealous.
Don't be jealous.
But we're excited. I am always excited.
You're always excited about Christmas.
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 Christmas is just a good thing. I mean,
It's a wonderful thing.
sometimes we go up and down, though, right?
Sometimes we go up and down, but she loves it.
Yeah, but you were telling me that at your house,
Yeah, right now.
it hasn't been like really exciting.
You know,
for some reason.
For some reason. Okay, so there's two things. Okay, so last time I was telling you that Tony isn't really excited. Tony Simon, my husband, is not excited about Christmas. But he's excited now.
Okay.
Yes, because we had a Christmas miracle. And when you have a Christmas miracle,
There you go.
then now the house is excited. Now it's toe up. The house is, there's holes in the ceiling. There's holes in the
You had a
walls.
leak of some kind.
I had a
leak of some kind.
slab leak that we couldn't find.
Yeah.
And the Christmas miracle, I was shouting all over my house yesterday. My son said, "Are you happy?" I'm happy because the first time that the adjuster called me, he said, "Now, Mrs. Simon, this isn't covered."
And how come anything that you really need is not covered?
I don't
Honestly,
understand that.
we're not going to get into that.
Yeah, but the miracle is that because Leak Pro, Serve Pro, and the environmental people couldn't find where the leak was coming from.
Okay.
So the wording of the policy differs. Guess what? This is a God moment. We're the exception. There's exceptions.
Yes.
And so Matthew, see, get that?
Let's go.
Matthew, Christmas, Matthew. I'm just tying it all together.
Ties.
Matthew says to me, "It is your lucky day." I said, "It's not luck, Matthew."
It's not luck.
He said, "Well, I'm gonna say it like this. When you read it like this," and he read some mumbo jumbo, he said, "It's not covered. But then when you read it like this, and you have that, there are exceptions.
See.
And you are
The exception. Now, you know that we have to take everything that we do here on this show
Yes.
and make it work
Yes.
in the life that
matters.
See,
This right here.
I just don't believe things happen in a happenstance
I
way
don't either.
for believers.
When I
They just
say we were shouting up in that house yesterday, Tony
Right.
came in, I was doing like this. Because the man was talking to me, Matthew, and I was like,
Yes. Now, see, what is Christmas all about?
What is Christmas all about?
We talk about Christmas miracles and Christmas being a miracle and all of that. But
Christmas is a miracle.
The reason we celebrate
Yes.
Christmas is because of the incarnation
of,
God into Jesus Christ.
there you go. That's
Now,
a miracle.
Jesus Christ
That's a miracle.
is the third person of the
person.
second person of the
Second
Trinity,
of the-
second
yes.
person of the Trinity.
Triune
So Jesus
God.
Christ is God. Now,
Yes.
if we try to get into all that explanation, we can't do that right now.
Yeah, but we can talk about Christmas
But we can
right
talk
now.
about Christmas.
Right.
All right. And God came to man. Just get that right in your head.
In your head.
God came to man to say, look, I'm going to let you guys know how it's done. I'm going to show you me. That was God saying, I'm going to show you myself.
Which is a miracle.
Why would he do that?
He don't have to, because he did not have to.
He did not have to.
Anything about Christmas is a miracle.
Everything.
So and that's why
Yes.
me and Tony Simon are back on the wagon.
Thank you.
We're back on the Christmas wagon with Miss Sharon.
I was a little upset with them
Dr.
last
Sharon,
week. They
you
were talking
were.
about not loving Christmas.
Yeah,
And
we were talking
being
about the
all-
holiday season. Yeah, but you made
Christmas.
sense. Talk about why, though. Let's just
Right.
go back to that. Why is Christmas Christmas?
Christmas is a holiday
Uh-huh.
for
For,
believers.
there you go.
We are celebrating the fact that God came into history.
Yes.
He lived outside of history,
Outside of history.
outside of time. Now,
Outside
I
of
love
time.
that part.
Outside of time.
Right.
That's good.
God created time.
Yeah.
What?
He created it.
He created time.
That's which goes back to why we said it's a miracle.
Yes,
Everything about Christmas is a miracle.
it's a miracle. Right.
'Cause it didn't have to be.
No, God, back in the beginning, if
Mm-hmm.
any of you know anything about your Bible,
Mm-hmm.
you don't even have to have studied the Bible to know the account of Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
Right.
The special people.
The special people, God's first creation,
His first kids.
his first kids. And if you know anything about this show, we love to talk about children, our kids. We love our kids.
We love our kids. Our college kids.
We have kids who are adulting. So
they're lifing.
Yeah, they're doing that. Okay, so God's kids were adulting.
Yes.
Adam and Eve were adulting.
Adam and Eve were
They
were trying to
they were
adult.
trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And God had given them one
One.
rule.
Just one rule.
Now, I know I gave my sons a whole lot more than one rule.
I gave our kids more than
Yeah,
one
they
rule.
had a
too.
lot of rules. They
Yeah.
had rules to follow.
Yeah. But they just not gonna follow them.
Right. And
Just not gonna follow them.
nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed.
God's kids didn't follow his rule.
And our
Either.
kids don't follow our rules.
Okay. So
Do they follow y'all's rules?
I don't know, maybe.
No.
Right. Write us if you are somebody whose kids always follow your rules.
If they follow your rules,
You
please,
need to be
please
on this show.
let us know so we can come
need to come on
interview
the
you
show.
so we know what to do.
Because, yeah, even God couldn't get his kids to do what they were supposed to. So, long story short, Adam and Eve disobeyed,
Disobey
thus bringing sin
into the world.
into the world.
Right.
It's like sin became a part of Adam's DNA.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's passing the sin nature along
Him and Eve. Don't forget
to
her.
everyone.
Don't
right?
forget her.
Well, yeah, she,
She did a lot,
But the
too.
thing was, it was Adam's
Yeah.
choice.
It was Adam's choice and her.
Right. And then she, of course, bore Adam's children.
And her.
So any children
Any children
from then on have a sin nature.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
So that cute little baby, I remember
They were.
Matthew was my firstborn, the cutest little thing. I protected
He's
him
still cute.
from I protected him from every possible thing, but he was a little sinner.
Terror.
Just
I will.
was. I mean, he couldn't even walk on his own, Laura.
Oh, gosh.
He's in the walker. I don't know if any of you still use walkers. I don't know. You put the kids in and they scoot themselves around
No,
before
they don't
can
do that
stand
anymore.
up on their
They
own.
put you on the jumper in the door.
Well, that's dangerous. Anyway,
Everything is
It was
dangerous.
the round thing.
Yes, the round
you
thing.
put the baby in, and he could.
Like the saucer.
Yeah, he could ambulate, around, and he got over to the water cooler, and he reached his hand out, and I said, "No, Matthew." He looked at me.
And did what?
He is not a year old. He cannot ambulate on his own. He looked at me and went,
Yeah, that's sin right there.
his little face said, "And what are you going to do about it?"
Right.
Sin nature.
Sin nature.
Right? Sin nature. So,
Sin nature.
sin nature. We're born with it.
We're born with it.
And we can't get into heaven living
Any kind
on
of way.
the fuel of the sin nature.
Right.
That sin nature has to be dealt with. And that
So how do we deal with
is
the
the
sin?
miracle
Yes.
of Christmas.
So how do we deal with sin
God
nature?
said, tell you what,
Tell you what.
they can't pay for their sin.
Sure can't.
They can't afford it. Plus, it's not money. It's not monetary. They can't do anything about it. What I need to do is just come to them and take the sin for them. Now, sin has to be paid for. Period. You're guilty. We're guilty.
We are guilty.
Right? So think of a courtroom. Think of the judge. Think of the guilty party.
Just there last week
Okay.
with my kids.
There's the guilty party. There is the judge is saying
judge.
you are guilty.
Don't forget the DA.
The DA is there, right? The judge says you're guilty. Bam.
But the DA says, I'm gonna make a deal.
Let me make a deal. Let me
Make a deal.
take
On.
this person's sin.
Yep.
You give it to me, and I will serve their punishment.
Yep.
That is exactly what God did for us.
That's what he did.
He came, well, it's really like not just the DA, it's the judge himself.
It's the judge himself. It's
The judge himself.
It's the DA. Jesus can be like the lawyer. Jesus can be the DA. Well, in my mind, because when he comes to say, this is the plea, or this is what we can do, or I'm going to give you this, or like he told my daughter, you don't have to do any of this.
See.
You did this online, you're good. I don't have to do any more, you don't have to do any more.
See.
So Jesus is the man.
Jesus is the man. So he takes the punishment.
Takes the punishment.
And he goes to the cross.
He goes to the cross.
He gets punished by the death penalty because the wages of sin, the scripture says, is death.
That's right.
Right? So he takes the death penalty. You are free to go.
And free to go and free to do some other stuff. That's the issue right there.
right.
Let's just talk about that.
Okay.
That's why this is a miracle.
I'm
not going to be redundant, but we're coming back because.
But not only is it's such a miracle because God knows everything.
And he knows what you're
knows
going to
the
do.
Future.
There you go.
And died for you anyway.
It died for you anyway.
So having God come in carne means meat, right? He comes in the flesh, right? To take our sin. He takes our sin. He nails it to the cross in his own body, right? And then it's done.
It's done.
The penalty is paid for. We're free to go.
We're free to go.
And so what does he decide to do 3 days later? He's like, okay, I'm done. I've done that now. Now I can raise again.
Now I can rise up.
Now we're in the spring at Easter time.
That's right.
Yes.
So that's why you're so excited. And yes, it's a miracle for Christmas. And we should celebrate Christmas. And as Christians, it's a big deal. I got it.
Big deal. So all the different symbolism, we have been talking over the last 2 programs, just in case you missed the last 2 programs. We've been talking about the symbolism of Christmas and some of the things that we have said that are not really what the Bible says.
Right.
For example, we talked about the angels singing.
They're not
right?
singing.
The angels didn't sing according to the scriptures. When the angels gave the message to the shepherds, they said.
They said.
Right? Glory to God in the highest.
You
and on
hit
earth
that
peace.
home.
Okay,
Yes.
so not singing, but saying. Nothing wrong with singing. You can sing.
But they didn't sing.
Yeah, just be accurate.
Accurate. Just be right when you tell the story.
Yes, we talked about the scene on your front
lawn. That's wrong.
Yeah. Now, my husband and I went riding through one of the neighborhoods where all the houses are just lit up. Last weekend we just rode
And where was
around
Jesus?
and watched. Jesus was in the little, manger on some lawns.
On some lawns.
Most lawns had a lot of Santa Claus.
Okay. And then where were the wise men or where were the shepherds? Where were the other people?
But the shepherds are usually right beside, and the wise men are usually also giving their gifts. And it's like, no.
Nope, that's wrong. That's wrong.
The wise men need to be over on the other side of the lawn because they didn't show up for 2 years.
Jesus was a lad. Jesus was a toddler.
Jesus was a toddler.
Lad.
Right. So if you have that on your lawn, it's cool.
It's cool.
Just move the wise men.
Move the wise men over
to the other side of the lawn. So
then you'll be accurate.
So you want to be biblically perfect.
You want to be biblically accurate.
So
accurate.
we got that straight. and put the light bulb in them.
Okay.
So we got that all.
We got that all straight.
Right.
All right.
So let's talk about gifts. Gifts. We give a lot of Christmas gifts. I love giving Christmas gifts. Right. Now, I have a new husband this Christmas.
Yes, you do.
Yes, we've been married 4 months.
4 months.
It's a lovely thing.
It's a lovely thing.
And he doesn't want Christmas gifts. And I'm like, too late.
Oh, you're a good wife.
Too late. Because I already planned out there under the tree. I said, don't get me. Okay, well, sorry. Okay, because you're getting gifts. Okay. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. I want to get my blessing from being able to give.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
It's a lovely thing.
We just give money.
You give money?
Yeah, we just say what you need, what you want.
I'm not going to say what I'm giving to.
Okay, don't
my kids might watch.
He might watch it, or they might watch it.
I'm not going to say what was given or anything like that. But he already knows he's getting gifts. Now
he's getting gifts.
Shameless plug that we're going to put in here.
Shameless plug.
You can buy books.
You sure can.
For your friends.
For your friends.
And those are gifts that keep on giving. Hopefully they keep reading, right? So Laura's book.
Did she say that out loud?
Did she say that out loud? From a pastor's wife to other pastors' wives, other women in ministry.
Other women in ministry.
Other women,
period.
Right. Just the vicissitudes, one of my favorite words, of life, right? Hit you.
I saw that on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah, that new word, vicissitude. There's also a hint. There's a little girl said, just because you said this, I thought of this. Little girl goes, there's a hint of spice. They're at a restaurant, at like a Black Angus, and she's like, there's a hint of spice, and there's a hint of lemon, and there's a hint of zest. Yes. She's like 6. And her dad's like, what is hint?
Right.
I don't know, it's a new word I learned.
Okay,
I just like using it. So
I like using it.
You sound really brilliant.
Yeah, it's one of my, it's definitely an SAT word, which they're not even doing the SAT anymore.
So what does it mean? What does it mean?
The vicissitudes of life, the troubles, the trials, the ups and downs.
Ooh, go girl.
Right,
of life.
Right, so if you're going through, in other words,
get you a laugh.
You want to get a copy of Did She Say That Out Loud? And realize, man, pastors' wives go through a lot.
A lot.
You know, my mom was a pastor's wife.
A lot.
Yeah, I didn't get to be a pastor's wife. I'm pretty sure Michael's not going into the pastorate. Okay. But I grew up in a pastor's house, okay? So you ladies, we bow to you, we love our first ladies. Right, and there's a lot on you all.
There's a lot.
So the pastor's wife has given us a great book. So make sure to get your copy and give them out as Christmas gifts.
Yes.
Okay. Both of us are in She Writes for Him, Black Voices of Wisdom.
Such a beautiful book for your coffee table.
Yeah, great short vignettes. From
you are really using words today.
I am wordified. Do you hear that? Wordified.
You have to look up the dictionary stuff today. She is just on one. Okay, isn't that pretty?
Very beautiful hardcover book that you'll want to give for your friends. And then all of you parents out there, right?
She has a plethora.
Look at
books for you to peruse.
Plethora peruse. Oh my goodness. Okay, Raising Boys to Be Like Jesus. Those of you who have little ones. Boomerangs to Arrows.
I like this one.
Right, a godly guide for launching young adult children, or basically how to get your grown kids out of your house. Yeah, that part. And then once they're out.
This one, I don't know. These two,
woo! When how they're living is not how you raised them. Yeah. So all of these books are available on Amazon. And then for your little ones, we've got Why I Get Into Trouble and Mommy Cried This Morning, the first 2 books of my 7-book children's series that is continuing on into next year. So gifts. The wise men brought gifts. to Jesus. They brought gold, they brought frankincense, they brought myrrh.
Yep, we just taught the kids that.
Right. And so look up what those three things
Gold,
were and what they were
frankincense,
for.
and myrrh, what they were for.
Gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
Myrrh.
All right, because you'll be surprised at myrrh when you find out what it was for.
MYRRH.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to let that be a little, wait, what? Who could that have been for? Look that up. We're not going to tell you. I do know.
She's not going to tell you.
But I'm not going to tell you.
She knows. Okay.
So we mirror the wise men in bringing gifts to each other, right? Just as they brought gifts to Jesus, right? So yet another way to remember the miracle of the Christmas story.
Remember.
Right. I love it.
Well, I like the way you're doing it now, and I'm going to incorporate that this Christmas, because if you talk about the story and then give reasons behind why I'm doing the gifts, why we're at our church this year, I meant to bring a picture for you and Richard. It's gorgeous. We have 3 crosses that are trees. Our church looks
Stunning.
gorgeous and it's lit up, But anyway, that gives a good conversation to the little kids and the adults. And I love how you're saying, I went home to say to Tony, now it makes sense. We're going to share about Christmas, and this is the reason.
Yeah.
Because now that between that and resurrection, Easter is that you're right. It's a Super Bowl, and then Christmas is just the beginning of Jesus came into the world before he even gets to he has to get here. He has to be born to even get to the cross.
In order to get to the cross.
There you go.
And I love, I used to sing a song called He Grew the Tree.
He grew the tree.
And oh my goodness, when I first heard this song, I was like,
That's it.
I have to have this song, because the idea of the song is that the last line of the chorus is he grew the tree that he knew would be used to make an old rugged cross.
Ooh.
And so when we think about this beautiful tree with all the, greenery, and our tree is green.
Not silver?
No, not silver or what have you, but that's okay. If you ever, look.
I grew up with a silver tree.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I loved it.
But we have a green tree.
Okay.
But it is artificial.
It's artificial?
It's artificial.
Yeah. So why don't you have a real tree?
But it looks like a real tree, because my neighbors have a beautiful real tree that they bought across the street, and it was $185.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
No, I have a fake tree. All right. Fake tree.
Fake tree.
Okay.
But it's a good-looking fake tree.
What, is it a balsam or a Bolton or a Hallmark? It's got to be a Hallmark tree for $185.
Anyway.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay, it's beautiful.
But when you look at that tree, we know we call the cross a tree.
A tree, yes.
And so there again is another reminder of what Christmas is about and why we celebrate it. And as Christians,
as believers
above everybody else, this is our holiday.
Take it back. The other week, a couple weeks ago, and then even today, listening to you, and I hope others hear this, is that it's our holiday. We're going to take it back, because when you explain what everything is, I don't have time to worry about the pagan tree or whatever. Basically, Jesus was born.
Yes.
He came to save us. Come on, let's get it together.
And let's be straight about it. People
Let's be straight about it.
He saved us from what? From hell.
From hell. From sin and hell.
Hell is a real place.
H-E double hockey stacks. Hoppy
sticks.
stick.
Hockey sticks. You gave that
I
a
am
real college try.
Woo! But they are real.
Right.
It's real.
Sin has separated us from God.
Yeah.
And will keep us separated from God.
If we don't,
there's going to be a lot of good people.
Oh, say
in
that.
hell.
Say that again.
There's going to be a lot of good people.
Good people.
In hell. Because we don't go to hell because of what we do or don't do.
What we do or don't do.
We don't go to heaven because of what we do or don't do.
That's good.
We go to heaven because of who we know.
Who we know.
It's like Hollywood. Yeah. You make it who you know because of who you know.
Who you know.
You make it into heaven because of who you know.
Who you know.
And it's in knowing Jesus Christ and having accepted what he's done. Like we talked about the whole courtroom scene, right? And so when we think about living as believers, living a life that matters, right?
Because my life matters.
We are thinking about the thankfulness we have.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Because of Christmas, because of the incarnation.
Yes.
We are thankful. I'm thankful.
Thankful.
For somebody else taking my punishment.
I'm thankful and I'm grateful.
Yeah, for me. I mean, think about it. I don't know if any of you got spankings. People don't like to spank anymore. But if you ever gotten in trouble and had to pay for your indiscretion, wouldn't it have been nice if somebody had come along and paid that for you?
That stepped in.
That's what Jesus
Took the punishment and the pain.
That's what Jesus did. So enjoy Christmas. Knowing why it exists, knowing what it... I mean, people stop fighting wars on Christmas. They go right back after. But they stop on Christmas.
And pretty much we get along during this season.
Yeah, this season, everybody's nice, right? So, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
We will be back next week and kind of wrap up, even though it'll be after Christmas.
It'll be after Christmas, yeah.
So we love you. Make sure you are with us on Life That Matters. My name is Dr. Sharon Norris Elliott.
I'm Lady Laura Simon.
So be